The Philippines. The Philippines is an island located in Southeast Asia, situated in the western Pacific Ocean. It has a total population of over 100 million people and a density of 53 persons per square kilometer. This is a map showing population density. The first recorded visit from the west is the arrival of Ferdinand Magellan on March 16, 1521. He claimed the land for Spain but was later killed off by one of the native tribe leaders. The Spanish didn't actually settle in the Philippines until 1565 in an expedition led by Miguel Lopez de Legazpi. 300 years later, in 1898, the Spanish-American War happened and Spain finally annexed the Philippines to America on the 10th of December that same year. Finally, on July 4, 1946, the U.S. recognized the Philippines as an independent country. In the 1960s, the Filipino government created the International Rice Institute. This foundation bred rice which produced from 3.7 to 7.7 million tons in 2 decades. 1962 was probably the best year for Philippine export agriculture. Devaluation and deregulation of foreign exchange brought huge profits to agro-exporters. Coconuts were the single largest exports and account for more than half of the world's coconut exporters, followed by sugar, pineapples, and forestry. From 1972 to 1981, President Ferdinand Marcos put the Philippines under martial law. Marcos defended his actions, claiming it was to stop the rising wave of violence allegedly caused by the communists. Under the cover of martial law, Marcos gave out privileges to those who were closely associated with him. Business empires were created which were exempt from tariffs and other taxes. This basically ruined the economy in the long run since they relied on easy foreign financing and domestic credit to pay for everything. The industries not only grew into large, inefficient operations but also contributed to a drain on the current account. From only $2.1 billion in the 1970s, the Philippines' foreign debt rose to $3.8 billion in 1975 and to $12.7 billion by 1980. The country's current GDP is $272.2 billion with a real growth rate of 6.8%. The GDP of each sector goes as follows. Agriculture is 11%, industry at 31.6%, and services at 57.2%. Its main exports go to Japan at 19%, US at 14.2%, China at 11.8%, Singapore 9.3%, Hong Kong 9.2%, South Korea at 6.6%, and Thailand at 4.7%. Its main exports consist of electronic products, transport equipment, garments, copper products, petroleum products, coconut oil, and fruits. Its main imports come from the US at 11.5%, China 10.8%, Japan 10.4%, South Korea 7.3%, Singapore 7.1%, Thailand 5.6%, Saudi Arabia 5.6%, Indonesia 4.4%, and Malaysia 4%. Its main imports are electronic products, mineral fuels, transport equipment, iron and steel, textile fabrics, grains, chemicals, and plastics. The Philippines has a list of trade partners which include the World Federation of Trade Unions, the World Trade Union, and many more. The Philippines and China have been trade partners for a long time, dating back to the Tang Dynasty. Because of this, many of the bigger cities lie on the coast, or simply because of foods like coconuts and fish. Globalization can help the Philippines by investing money into the developing country, benefiting those with low income. It also gives the country access to foreign culture and helps increase demand of products, creating jobs for those who are unemployed. There have been 3 major impacts on the Philippines economy due to globalization: liberalization, deregulation, and privatization. Although it has shown to help the economy in some ways, the globalization has not been beneficial 100% of the time. Liberalization hurts third world countries like the Philippines by reducing protective tariffs and trade restrictions, giving free play to the market. The reduced rate of production from 44% to 20% for manufacturing within a 2-decade period has resulted in bankruptcies of local industries as locally produced goods suffer from an unfair competition by cheap imports. Deregulation has hurt the women population especially hard since basic commodity prices have increased by 6.7% from 2.6%. It has also led to overpriced oil for transportation, electricity, etc. Privatization has made it easier for foreign capital to intervene in sectors of the economy that might have previously been under state control. For example, the privatization of healthcare is slowly killing the poor, especially women and children. The privatization of healthcare will deny affordable and accessible basic health services to the poor, estimated by IBON Data Bank Foundation to compromise 88% of the Philippine population, while the government decreases its budget for government hospitals where the poor go. The Philippine Constitution requires that 5% of the GNP be allocated to healthcare services, but in a span of 15 years, the GNP allocation averaged less than 1%. If a happy medium is not found for globalization in the Philippines, it could mean a regression in the country's economy. Now, what actually happens to the Philippines is up to them.
Created using Powtoon.